All right. So these are conceptual and could be subject to change. Just wanted to note that a little bit. Um, Roland has put a lot of thought and effort into the gamification concept, and it's a very important part of our ecosystem. And if you look at gamification in general in the real world or any other products that are used, gamification is quite a big thing because it's quite useful. I'm sure everybody is familiar with any type of gamification if they play games um, on their mobile phone that trigger people to uh, keep using the products, come back, and etc. Daily streaks, for instance, or even there are examples when you have streaks or gamification if you visit the gym for building up an amazing health, for instance. So gamification is a useful tool, and why we would use it in Xception is for a couple of points. Um, One is it makes use of our products and the actual bots way more fun and engaging for the users because you have some fun and gamified element to it. Um, it allows us to incentivize people to do certain tasks like approve tokens to the bot, do something that could increase their reward or help them to get the most out of the products. And um, also for onboarding users, it's very important to have a gamification element because oftentimes onboarding or the use of a new product, you require a couple of touch points before somebody is comfortable with using the products, and gamification is a great tool to use in that case to um, remind people that they can perform certain tasks and how it could benefit them. Now, um, also, I think you remember in the first VC that we mentioned. I think Simon was talked for a little bit about our partnership and um, why we did a partnership with Simon and Northnode, and it because we are very product and user focused, and that was a prerequisite for that particular partnership. That is for the users, and gamification is perfect for user onboarding and rewarding users in their journey with our products, for instance. Now, I'll just keep rambling on if you have no interruptions for me. So
That's great.
um,
I mean, I will interrupt. I just want to say this because I mean, I said this already in a former VC. How gamification, like everything is now gamified. Even
mm,
even learning programs, like e-learning for children and so is gamified. They've seen that people are more inclined to use something if they get rewarded. Even TikTok is gamified if you want. So you get a reward, for your interaction with the software, and that reward is just slightly addictive because you feel like, well, the more I use it, the more I get it, and so it's very smart move to use that in a product like this. I just wanted to add that.
yeah, I think that's an excellent point because that will help increase the learning experience for using for onboarding new users that might not be familiar in this space yet, and that's very important to scale up. And um, also rewarding users for certain actions is perfect because if we scale the entire ecosystem and we can incentivize people to do more actions within our suite of tools, it benefits all users actually. So the more interactions we get in our ecosystem, the better it is for all users. So
Exactly. Yeah,
so
just
if
go
I
ahead.
would
Sorry.
yeah, if I would go at we have certain layers to this. For instance, if you look at the bot missions, for instance, we have two separate tracks right here. One, if
That
we
would
can
be
say,
screenshot one, right? The first screenshot.
yeah, the what said bot. We have bot missions,
Mhm.
but we also have social missions. So social missions, I think they speak for themselves, or for social interaction, and rewarded for everything that's related to socials. Now, bot missions are usage of the product, and within this there are separate tracks as well, or categories, and you could see that we have like sniper specific, MEV specific, trader specific. They're all related to the amount of contracts you've sniped, um, how many tokens you've approved to the MEV, amount of trades you've done, volume generated, the actual amount of MEVs you participated in, but also the amount of winning trades, all types of data that we can track on chain. Um, is very interesting to keep track here, and we can reward the users for such. Now, um, you might see that there are different colors of badges right there that you can unlock. There's bronze, silver, and gold. And there's a certain amount of points that you can earn before you upgrade to the next uh, tier right here. So bronze would be 0 to 100, and silver would be up to 600 points, and gold would go up to 2,500 points. So every time you uh, unlock a certain uh, of these missions, you get points in rewards, unlock points in rewards, and your overall for that specific category overall rewards can increase. So in engaging with these type of missions will actually level up the total rewards, and the velocity of which you can earn the rewards increases as well. Now, um, these are the mockups, and we can do. I think we can expand incredibly with the amount of different missions we can generate. Um, we're very much looking forward to speaking with the data scientists that we're working with, how we can increase the amount of missions and to make it more interesting for the users. So that's the bot missions, and we're very excited about what Roland has created with the other guys of the team.
I think there's another very interesting topic that emerges out of that, and I know, I mean, you've touched on it very briefly in the beginning, which is like leader boards, copy trading, and so forth. If you can actually see, you can see the best performing people, you can see the best performing, the most volume, the best performing MEV, the best performing snipers, and so forth. You potentially could, latch yourself onto that. Just an idea. And probably that's what you guys are doing anyhow already.
Yeah, so um, there are two things I would like to say about that. Because definitely, there's a leaderboard for this, and those are rewarded for get additional benefits if you are in the leaderboard, and you can think about additional points, or which convert to additional tokens eventually. Um, and like you mentioned, for the copy trading and that type of data, I think that should be opt-in, because um, the tracking of, for instance, if you would be in the leaderboard right here as a user identity, you might not necessarily want people to trade your actual wallet, because we do like to keep that type of privacy in there
Oh, that is
for
fantastic,
users.
man. That is so
Yeah.
nice to have a privacy, to have some, to have that protection there.
Yeah, so you could opt in, because if you are, that's down the, I don't want to divulge too much, because you could opt in for, if you do want people to be able to track you, to copy trade your wallet, and that could, when we roll out that specific product, could have additional rewards for the wallet that's copied.
Very good. Very nice. Yeah, that was my question.
Awesome. So another point would be very important is the let's see what's shared in the chat right here.
The next
I
one would
think
be trader statistic, which is what we just talked about, right? So you
yeah, just your general. This is the dashboard, and these are your general personal trading statistics. Um, and I think they speak for themselves. It's quite useful to have your own trader statistics in a dashboard. You can track what your status is with your missions. You can see where you can what specific action you can take to get to a next level for more rewards, and you can also see your personal statistics right here. Now, another nice thing about these gamifications, and if we're talking about the Telegram bot, we would be able to prompt users and send messages and remind them for what specific actions they can take to reach the next level. For instance, if you have done quite well on the MEV track with all the missions, and you have just a couple of those left, we can send messages or to trigger users to remind them, oh, you only have X amount of activity left until you reach the um, next tier for that specific mission track. So we can actively engage users to get the most out of their missions and products.
Okay, so let's say, I'm doing quite well and I have all of these, I'm collecting all of these points, then what?
So these points would be converted in the loyalty reward. So I think formally we've talked about how the fees are collected in the loyalty reward pool, and those would be in tokens. So the points you collect here, they convert to claiming tokens. Now, so that's actually getting rewarded for using the product. Now, there's a little bit of interesting thing right there that we are exploring, definitely. We talked about it briefly, that it might be useful for users if they would not convert to tokens, or if they would use tokens to unlock next tiers so they can basically gear up their reward velocity for roll up into the next cycle. So that could be very interesting for users as well to boost their own rewards and use either points or tokens.
Yeah, I like that. So, I mean, could be like a burn mechanism or a recycling of tokens, however that is.
Yeah.
That's very, very nice. So, okay, so I fulfill my journey and I climb slowly and steadily, get my experience points, and I build my character, and I get paid for that. And then by the end of the day, I can click on the button, or end of the week or whatever, I can click on the button. I either convert it into actual money that I can hold or sell, or like you just said, I could burn it or recycle it in order to up to my next level.
Yes.
I'm just good. I'm just summarizing to see if I got it all right.
Yes. And that's the obviously, like I mentioned before, that's pending like finalizing the exact technicalities and the exact data. But I think you should definitely.
That's great. And I know, we're repeating ourselves by now. It's like the fourth day of doing this, but I think it's anyhow good to repeat certain things. So again, where are these tokens coming from that you will be rewarding people with?
These tokens are collected from in the loyalty reward pool, and the loyalty reward pool is filled by all the fees generated within the ecosystem. So that's either um, by sniping, uh, trading fees, but also the fees on the MEV bot, and also, like we mentioned yesterday, that um, profits from the MEV that would be collectively ran by Treasury, those profits would fill the Treasury as well. So basically, all the revenue streams that are generated by products of the ecosystem fill the loyalty reward pool and are pushed out to the.
Okay, very good. So, I mean, we're going to see, and this is a little teaser for tomorrow's spaces where you should all be there, to be honest. This will be our first Twitter space that will be held with fundamentals, crypto fundamentals, and Sir PT will give a, can I say?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Will give a presentation of the working MEV. So everyone can see
Yes.
the MEV actually generating profits live on screen share, and you all get a very good idea that it's actually working and how it will be working. Right. So I think that's very, very exciting. You all can see that live tomorrow on the Twitter Spaces. I think it's
Yeah.
worth coming to it.
Yeah. Small side note there, by the way. It depends on the technical capabilities. I'm not familiar with Twitter Spaces if there's screen share possible, but otherwise we'll have to do it another way. So we perform it live, and I would share the information with somebody.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, you won't be able to share your screen on Twitter, but you'll be able to, maybe you drop something here in the Telegram, they can look at it, or you'll figure it out. I mean, there will be some kind of way to share
Yeah.
it.
For sure. For sure.
Okay. Well, I think that's good. I like to actually, keep these small and we keep them focused, and then, we can do as many as we wish to just, have some time with the dev, ask him some questions. If nobody asks, I ask. I'm happy to ask. But let's just take a little time. If anybody wants to come up and speak and ask some questions, so PT's there, happy to answer, I'm sure. Let's see if anybody
Yeah.
wants to put their hand up. I unlocked the chat. You guys can also ask questions in the chat if you don't want to speak. Is there a date they plan to release to public?
Yeah, that's a question we've been having quite often. There is no specific date for release to the public. Um, However, we do have a pending beta testing for the demonstration that I'll be giving out tomorrow. And that beta testing would be internally at first rolled out to KOLs and partners to test out, etc. Um, for public for public rollout, we do need to consider safety and security. We take that very highly. So that would require some time to roll out safely. But whenever we can do so, um, we'll try to do it as fast as possible.
Excellent. And I was just talking with you about this whole scenario. I think one thing that will get people really excited is to see the MEV working with the treasury already. So I mean, essentially, even if you can't use it as a user yet yourself, like the sniper is not finished yet, you can't use the MEV yet, but if the treasury is starting to, do MEV um, transactions on chain every day, then and technically making profit, then that profit will already be cycled into the chart, as I understood correctly, and that already is a case for people to see, wow, this is happening. This is a Jared working for a token, and if I hold that token, well, I'm I'm lucky to be early. That's what I'm saying, right? There's another question where it says minimum amount to use the bot.
There is to use the bot, there will be no minimum token requirement. However, the token will act as a priority parameter. So if multiple users have approved the exact same token, and they both or multiple users apply with their token holdings for a certain MEV transaction, the second parameter would be that we look at token holdings to prioritize. So in that regard, token holding would be a priority feature, but to use the bot, there's no minimum token holding requirement. There will be premium features rolled out.
Great. There's another question here. Does the MEV need to be audited by a company like Certic, or will the Xception token itself be audited?
Excuse me, come again?
The person is asking if the MEV contract will be audited separately, additionally the token itself, if that also will be audited.
Yeah, I'll start with the token at first. We have right now an unrenounced token contract. Why we have the unrenounced token contract is because we want to upgrade with our own custom script for the token tax. And that is because right now the token tax, it goes through the contract directly. It's sold to ETH automatically. That's how all of these taxes work. And we want to do that separately and run it through our own system so we can bundle those transactions with MEV transactions. And that would yield better benefit in our ecosystem. So while we wait for that, and we need the unrenounced contract to upgrade that, after that we can renounce the contract, and at that point we can perform the audit. Because if we would do it right now, it would have security flags like that it's unrenounced, for instance. Now, on the MEV contract, the actual MEV contract we can't audit because it's highly proprietary, and that's something we just can't hand out to external parties, even though NDAs will be signed. Because I'm sure you can imagine this type of contract and this type of bot is highly sought after. And if you have a very gas efficient contract, it opens up risks if you start auditing that. Now, that being said, the approval transaction and what approval there is, that will be audited. We can audit that particular function. And all other code that would be safely to share to audit companies, we definitely will. So that's very important. We need to safeguard our product, but we will not take any or leave any stones unturned in terms of security and performing audits for users. That's our number one priority.
That's great. That's a great answer. Okay, so I think we're at half an hour. Let's wrap it up. And then tomorrow, we're all excited to come to the Twitter Spaces and see the presentation.
Me
Thank you
too. I'm
very
very
much, sir.
excited.
It was a great session as always.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Oh, Simon, 1 second. Yo, Simon, you have to unmute. I thought he wanted to speak. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm going to say, oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say, okay, bye, thanks, guys, see you next time. But for now, what I wanted to say, excited for tomorrow. Can't wait. So I'll be there.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, same here. Can't wait for tomorrow. See you all tomorrow.
Mavic, baby.